Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Happy Sunday evening to you, or perhaps Monday morning, depending on where you're watching this. We're going to jump into Bitcoin here really quick. It is going crazy ever still. Since it hit 40,000, it's going to keep on running, okay? I've talked about 43, 44,000 being a strong possibility if we break through 40, so we'll talk about that much more. Also, back-end stuff here too, kind of understanding a little bit about liquidation data and a few key factors. So quickly to note, we got some awesome stuff here. First of all, I want to kind of note our premium group. Congrats again on our Luna 2 swing trade, 263%. We just took profits about 5 minutes ago on our Bitcoin trade, 44% when we hit 40,500. Okay, so awesome stuff. Great weekend for us. Solana, ADA, Cardano, obviously some really good stuff. And we're seeing a lot of volume too. $503 million in volume, instantly $698 in volume in 12 minutes. That happened roughly 3 or 4 hours ago. Some crazy stuff is happening here. So again, if you're new to the channel, love to teach people to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. And obviously, you're probably a return viewer. Thanks again so much for all your help. Like the video if you could, please help us grow the community and the channel. So taking a quick look here at a few key things. So first of all, we got some new liquidation levels here. Shorts at about 41,600. Those are low leverage shorts, but still another level the price action could sweep up to. We've got some liquidation levels here for some longs. Those got wiped at about 39,000. And of course, we got some other low leverage longs at about 38,000. And correction, the 39,000 longs did not get wiped. I apologize. That is technically actually a long, not shorts. Okay, so longs are hedged between 38 and 39,000. That's pretty much where they're at for the most part, between low and high. So congrats to those folks who took a long at that level. We took our long somewhere in the 36 to 37,000 range. Been cranking ever since. Let's go ahead and take a quick look here at open interest. Okay, so quickly to note, wow, look at us, open interest at 38,900. All right, can you guess which ones those are? Yep, a lot of longs here entering the market at about that level. Let's actually go back a little bit because it's going to give us better data. We'll look at a 7-day spread here, and we can kind of see that there is tons and tons of longs here, closer to that 38.6 mark. Okay, so that was a sweet spot to get in. Again, congrats to our members for that. And we got a lot of good traders in that level. We can also see some shorts. Look at these shorts getting wrecked. These are the shorts getting wrecked at 38,000, 38.2, 38.6, and of course 39.5 as well. So all over the place there, but generally speaking, it's safe to presume the shorts are having a bad day. So yeah, again, I've told you for a while, do not short Bitcoin with that ascending channel. We also had a bullish pennant pattern, if I recall correctly. We'll look at that here in a minute. But let's go ahead and change this here. I like the other colors better. And we're just going to go ahead and double check a couple things here. So this is the last 7 days of trading. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit and see where we're at. You can see a sharp amount of shorts getting liquidated there at 39.5. We already knew that from yesterday. And again here today, big surprise, people shorting just above 40,000. So 40,200 just got swept. We got some new shorts in the market at 41.5 and 40,800. Okay, so we'll look at that on the charts and kind of see roughly what that looks like. Keep in mind, tons of longs to be liquidated here if the price pulls back. I think the emphasis here is if, with all the money coming in the market, it's going to be odd for the price to pull back at this point. Honestly, we saw this a couple of years ago when Bitcoin was cranking closer to 70,000, and I don't see any reason why this will slow down at this point. Okay, so just some friendly advice: be careful shorting, and also consider adding to your spot bag. I've been doing so for the last couple of months. I don't care. I bought it at 39,000 recently, and it felt actually pretty good. Even better now when we're up at closer to 41. All right, so let's talk about this here. This is some fib levels here on the daily. Just to quickly note, if the price does pull back based on 0.382, 0.5, 0.618, very common retracement levels. We're looking at 37.6 for the middle point. Okay, that's roughly the 0.5 Fibonacci. 38.3, and then of course the lowest point would be roughly 37. Okay, so 37,000, 37.6, and 38.3. Okay, those are the new levels that we want to focus on as potential retracement areas. Again, I like to emphasize the word potential because it's not a guarantee, but here's that bullish pennant pattern that we have on the chart that essentially just became, there we go, nice little refresh. Okay, so simply put, we've been talking about being above the 20-day SMA on other altcoins, same thing with Bitcoin, very positive indicator. Okay, so until we break below that, we can presume the price will come up. Now, obviously, the price could very well come down all the way to that level, and it'd still be a pretty awesome short. But again, shorting into a bullish trend is not a good idea. Okay, we talked previously about taking shorts in bearish trends. range-bound activity, and of course ascending channels, which is exactly what we're seeing here. Okay, so keep this in mind. That's exactly where we're at. Let's take a quick perspective on the weekly first and kind of see what's going on here, just so we get perspective there. And just to clarify, there is a fair value gap upwards about 42 to 44 from before. Those tend to get filled, but that's not a concrete thing. Please understand that. However, it is fairly large probability that that's going to be retested. Okay. That said, though, on the weekly, what we're looking at here is just a few key factors. So MACD has been converging for a while, still showing strong momentum. The RSI is extremely high, so you got to recognize closer to 80 on the weekly. I wouldn't say we're due for a correction soon, but it would make sense to have a red week in the relative near future. Main reason why I think that is because we have a lot of strong green candles here, and a lot of times when you have multiple green candles, it can be followed by a red day. A lot of times you see 3 white soldiers, 4th red day, right? So we're not quite there yet because we had this massive doji candle here a couple weeks ago, and we just closed here previously as a very strong bullish candle. So again, all the more reason not to bet into that. Quickly to note, moving averages are all below the price action, averaging low 30,000s. Okay, so again, all the more reason to just kind of recognize that we are truly bullish on the larger term time frame. Tons of money is coming into Bitcoin, and concurrently, this is uniquely enough here, Bitcoin dominance is not dropping at all. Okay, a lot of times you see Bitcoin dominance coming down when we have these massive surges, and so far it's continuing up. It's not strong, you know. 0.25% isn't that massive, but it's still important to recognize some alts could start to pull back if that is the case. Now we have our fourth green day here on the daily. Bear in mind, a natural correction would make sense coming here soon, but also a surge would make sense too, considering what we've seen here so far, and that everyone and their dog is trying to short right now when the price action is just going straight up. Okay, so a lot of people get wrecked. Please be careful shorting. Take a look at the MACD, strong convergence here the last 3 days here. And that happened over a weekend, which is extremely uncommon. That leads me to believe we have a lot more strength in this market right now, and that the coins are much less likely to continue to go down immediately. I think we're going to see the price continue to go up. That's really what I'm saying. Let's talk about overextension. There isn't truly a lot on the daily to talk about, minus the RSI being up over 70. But we've talked about this previously. When the price goes up over 70 on the RSI, it can stay up there for a very long time. Okay, so let's take a look here. When the last time the price went up over 70 on the RSI was right here at about 29,000. That sounds like a pretty sweet entry right now, doesn't it? So if we take a look at that here, the price comes up, continues to ascend, and went all the way to right here until it decided it wanted to pull back. Okay, so it was uptrending for about 2 to 3 weeks straight. Okay, so again, not saying that exact same thing will happen, but once you crank past 70 on the RSI, there's this mania starts to occur, and it something being oversold, or sorry, overbought in this case, completely becomes irrelevant, if that makes any sense. Okay, again, all the logic goes out the window because everyone's starting to see that Bitcoin's taking off, and everyone's FOMOing in right now. Okay, again, just the way that it goes, kind of a natural cycle, but the cycle is kind of just beginning, if you will. And there's much more potential for the price to continue higher. We want to pay attention to the money flow index, ensure it stays high. It's tapering off right now, but the 4-hour will probably change that dynamic altogether, which we're seeing right here. So on the 4-hour time frame, we are definitely seeing the money flow index extremely high. Again, money flow index on the 4-hour time frame is my most favorite one to watch. With it being this high, there's no reason why the price can pull back. Okay? Tons and tons of money coming into this coin. All right, and again, it may not seem like a lot, but it's a lot compared to last few days, right? Because again, the money flow index is based on last 14 candles. On the 4-hour candle time frame, rather, we are looking at roughly 2.5 trading days. Okay, so the last 2.5 trading days, we've seen a significant uptick in volume and money flowing into this coin. Big surprise, right? Look at that guy. All right, so is it going to pull back? Well, let's take a quick look at TD sequential. We are hitting a 9. And again, this is no guarantee, but the more 9s in a row you hit, the more likely it is to pull back. Okay, so we had a 9 here previously, just to note. Actually, leading into that, we came down to an 8, pulled up to a 9, consolidating, dipped, bounced off a key level support. Price comes up to an 8. We pulled up here. We bull pennant patterned breakout, and now we're up to another 9. Okay, so keep in mind, we could very well see another pennant pattern, but you got to keep in mind or understand that the more pennants you have in a row, the less likely they are to occur. Second ones can occur a lot. But the third or fourth, extremely low probability. So if we do see one more breakout, I would say that would be a case in point where we might want to consider a short, okay? And that would be a tight short. It would not be a short to hold on to down to 12,000 like some people might consider is going to be a thing. I really hope those bears have kind of given up on that thought process. I still think at this point, based on how hard we're moving, 30,000 seems extremely improbable. Only thing that would cause it to come down that low is a fundamental catalyst at this point. Okay, so again, do not bet against this. This is not something you want to try to short into. Yes, I'm sure there's plenty of people shorting at 40,800, and yes, it'll probably look really sweet when you come down to 39.2, and they'll be posting all over Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, and just talking about how great they are. That's fine, okay? I'd much rather wait for the price to pull back and buy in at a realistic level than to do, than to try to short at the top. Again, it's easier said than done. I recognize that, and I hope that you have luck doing so. But again, even though we're fully overextended here on every time frame, there's really no reason for it to pull back at this point. Okay, so again, I just sit on the sidelines and wait. Please continue dollar cost average as the price pulls back if it does, and as it continues to go up, feel free to add to your bags because it's really, there's almost nothing stopping it right now. All right, so we'll talk about that later. We'll recap that later in the week. I was meaning to have this be a very quick one. It's turned out to be a long one. I apologize. Let's quickly note a couple of things here on the hourly. This is where the overextension I feel is more important. So the 4-hour time frame, we get a nice little breathing room before the price legs up, okay? On the hourly, we're starting to see what that breathing room looks like. These are nice little areas here of consolidation before these legs up. That's fantastic. So the likelihood of the price action consolidating at roughly 40,500 moving forward is extremely high, okay? Is it going to pull back? Possibly. Is it more likely to increase? Yeah, for sure. So again, situations like this, pump the brakes, learn to not force a trade, and just recognize that it's all good. It's okay if you miss some opportunity. Look how many missed opportunities are in the market right now. You gonna catch them all? No. All right. I hope that made sense. Quick little heads up too. This is actually extremely important. Make sure to pay attention to this because BingX, one of our favorite exchanges here, used in the U.S., Canada, and other countries as well, of course, but mainly because they didn't require KYC or VPN. They now require KYC and VPN at this point. Or correction, I'm sorry. KYC is on the horizon, VPN is real. Okay, that actually happened. So all my members in the US are like, hey, I gotta use a VPN now. Well, it's all well and good, it just means that KYC is coming. Okay. So why not wait, or why wait? Why not transition? Make the switch. If you use Bitunix, my link down below for this exchange, no KYC, no VPN, you get a significant amount of benefit rewards. Future trading competitions, they are awesome exchange. So please be sure to check them out. They're definitely a great exchange, and I appreciate them very much for providing good opportunities to our community members. Last thing here, Ichimoku Cloud, green light to leave your long position open. Do not short this coin, okay? And again, price might drop as soon as I post this video, and you'll see it coming down or lower than where it's at right now. That's the way it goes sometimes. But for the most part, it's a statistical probability the price action is going to go higher than it will go lower at this point. Until we hit a critical mass, which we're not there yet, there's a great chance we'll see this continue to run. All right, folks, thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Please like the video. Greatly appreciate it. Take care.